I have a job for you.
Jeez, it's not another arc, is it?
No, not again. This time I need a full-scale home renovation.
Noah Construction and Builders is your design and build partner. We do it all, from additions and dormers to full-scale renovations. Schedule your no-cost design consultation today. Visit us online at noahconstruction-builders.com.
Noah Construction and Builders. Through dreams we design, with vision we build.
WGBB Radio right here, 95.9 FM, 1240 AM. MuscleSport Media live on Monday, 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am the co-host, Joe Pietano, here with my co-host, Anthony Tuminello. And, of course, Trevor behind the glass, making this all happen. Anthony, what's going on, pal?
What's up? How you doing? Happy Monday. How was your weekend? How was your weekend, Trevor?
Very good, man.
Very good, very good.
We got a little NFL playoffs,
Don't talk about it. My Dolphins...
Ooh,
crap the bed.
Yeah, that was...
And let me tell you, I mean, they deserved it because they were trending in the wrong way.
I knew that was.
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't going to be a good spot for them.
Nah. As soon as they got murdered by the Ravens, I knew it was over.
Okay.
I was completely knew it was over.
Yeah. They had then they lost to the Bills. They lost the home field, and then they had to go to KC, and it was.
We got it.
They got Taylor Swift as the it's nauseating.
And listen, I'm not one to talk, but I think the refs, they wanted the Chiefs. They wanted the Chiefs to, get ahead. They wanted them to advance. Now we deserve nothing.
Yeah,
we deserve nothing. They disappoint. They're one of my teams. I'm a Nick Met and Dolphin fan. They disappoint me the most out of every one of my teams I've been rooting for since I'm 4 years old.
All right, silly question.
Yeah.
You're New York.
How did I become a Dolphin fan?
I know they were a popular team. They were like, there's Cowboy fans. There's all these fans of other Oakland Raiders. They're a big team. People like, why Miami Dolphins?
Because I got a hutch foot. This is the absolute truth. When I was 4 years old, I got a hutch football from I think it was my brother. My brother was a big Miami Dolphin fan because in the 70s, he's your age, so he liked Larry Zonka. He liked all that stuff as a kid.
Team,
And then he's the one who got me to be a Dolphin fan. Right. But I got a hutch football, and I love the colors. And then there came Dan Marino. He was Italian, because the fact he was Italian, he was one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, listen, I'm 4 years old. That's what I was drawn to. I was drawn to the colors. I was drawn to Dan Marino, and my oldest brother was a Dolphin fan. So there it was. That was it.
There it was. Well, the Miami Dolphins have had a good history.
And
they got Marino had he never won a ring kind of thing. Listen, it doesn't always happen. You can't.
Right.
It's not any fault of his why they didn't win a ring. The guy was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Statistically, if not besides, a certain thing, he was the statistically greatest quarterback for a long time when it came to, touchdowns, when it came to passing yards. He got surpassed since then, but, he got to don't forget, he got to the Super Bowl when he was a rookie. He lost to Joe Montana. And they thought, that was
just a warm-up for him.
That was a warm-up for him. But.
And then David, Woodley made the Super Bowl with the Dolphins before Marino was drafted on the team.
What year was that? That was 70.
That was when they lost to the Skins.
73. So then
the Raiders was, and I'm thinking, no, after that.
72 was their perfect season.
Yeah, that was when they had Bob Greasy. 14-0 because there was only 14 games.
Right.
17-0 because there was only 2 playoff games.
Right.
And then they made I think it was 83 before the draft. It was January 83. They made David Woodley was their quarterback.
They didn't make the Super Bowl that year.
They made the Super Bowl and lost to the Skins.
And then that was 83. They made the Super Bowl.
Either way, they did make the Super Bowl one year without Marino and when Woodley was the quarterback.
83 was the Super Bowl because he was a rookie in 83. He was the Super
83 draft. Yeah.
Right.
But the Super Bowl was
84.
January.
Then he lost to Joe Montana.
Now February because they had a million weeks and all that.
Then they lost to Joe Montana. He lost to Joe Montana.
But they lost. The Dolphins have made the Super Bowl with different quarterbacks.
I think they lost to the Chargers. That's what I think you're talking about. Was it the Chargers?
in the championship game.
Is that what you're talking about? With
You're thinking of that miracle game, the overtime Ralph Bernard.
Oh, that's right.
With
That's
the flea
right.
flicker.
Yeah.
And the half. That was one of the most insane games. I watched it.
How about the fake spike that Marino did against the Jets?
Against the Jets, yeah.
How about that?
November 28th, 1990, or no, 27th or 28th, 1994.
That's right.
And, yeah, the Jets had a chance to tie them for first place, and then
That was
ran the table with losses after that, and Pete Carroll got the boot.
That's right. Boomer was the quarterback for that one.
94,
right?
yeah.
He was Ken O'Brien. Then it was Boomer right after that.
Boomer, yeah.
Did you ever watch the 30 for 30? It was 30 for 30, the 1983 NFL draft. It went
quarterback draft.
Right. It was Elway to Marino. What a fascinating documentary that was.
Oh yeah. And people that cry, why didn't the Jets? Why didn't all these teams draft Dan Marino?
They didn't. Yeah.
All of these teams, it wasn't only the Redskins couldn't pass up on Marino because they said the
Jets passed up on Marino.
See, that's why I know it was the year before that because they lost to the Redskins in the Super Bowl, so they would pick 28th. There's only 28 teams then. 28th, the Redskins picked, the Dolphins picked 27th, picked Marino. Well, that's how far he fell because of the drug and partying allegations.
That was the allegations,
at University of Pitt.
But the Jets could have took Marino.
Of course they could have. Everybody could have. All of those teams. Todd Blackledge, Penn State, my team.
Went nowhere.
KC,
it went nowhere.
Tony Eason, who the Jets ended up grabbing, went to the Patriots.
That's right.
Did nothing.
Nothing.
Well, then obviously you had Elway, you had Jim Kelly in that draft.
Jim Kelly he went to the CFL.
USFL.
The USFL.
Houston Gamblers.
And then, because he didn't want to go to Buffalo, and then where did Jim Kelly wind up?
In Buffalo. His draft rights.
Is that amazing?
He was supposed to be on the New Jersey Generals when they folded that.
That's right.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated wearing a New Jersey Generals uniform back in 1985 because the Gamblers that they started to cut down on teams because the league was losing.
Right.
And that's when Trump owned the Generals, and he was the catalyst in them going head to head against the NFL. That's spring to fall, and that was it.
And why don't we make this a sports talk?
Fine with me.
Not yet. We're gonna.
But I'm looking. I can't see.
Oh, we can't see Joey. Hold on. Let me fix this.
Let's make sure, because then if you don't see my nose,
I think Trevor did that purposely. Can you see it now?
Can you see my nose now? All right.
We're gonna have to sort that out.
That's all right. I want to you're better looking than me. Right. The girls are looking at you; they're not looking at me.
All right.
Are we gonna still? Listen, I don't care. Well, just quickly, Noah.
You got to come forward.
Noah Construction-Builders.com. Our title sponsor. Make sure you guys take Noah, bring him to your house. They'll do a free estimate. You need some work done, big work, smaller work. They can do everything: commercial, residential, etc. Noah Construction-Builders.com. We want to make sure we get that out. So, what are we going to talk about after we spoke a little bit about the Dolphins, the Jets, the '83 draft, ESPN.
Well, I figured again, since everyone's back for the Christmas break, it's January. Let's talk about, because people are a bit confused about what type of cardiovascular work they should be doing to
work all those cookies off.
Right. To lose fat, to burn fat, to have some more endurance. So there is different types of cardiovascular. Now that's called aerobic work. All right. There's anaerobic work, which is weightlifting, stopping and going, doing using muscular, where your heart rate accelerates, comes down, accelerates down. Then there's standard aerobic work, which is your heart rate stays steadily high, which is very good for your heart, things like that. So what I usually, and again, this is subjective stuff, so don't forget this is subjective based on the individual's goals, the individual's limitations as far as if there's any injuries, things like that. But standard fat-burning cardio is exactly that. So what fat-burning cardio, it's called low-intensity cardio, but that does not mean it's easy. Low-intensity cardio fat-burning zone is basically you want your heart rate on a general, this is generally now, heart rate between 120 and 150. That's how I gauge a low-intensity cardio, which is fat-burning zone. So what that means is when it's fat-burning zone, it tends to target fat rather than just aerobically working the heart muscle, running, things like that. So that's what I always try to get people to start with. Low intensity, steady fat burning cardio. Now,
Steady state, you're saying.
Steady state fat burning. Walking on the, for instance, walking on the treadmill at a steady rate, getting your cardiovascular system to get your heart rate between 120, 140, possibly 150. Everyone's different based on their resting heart rate.
Yeah.
But that's fat burning zone. Now, what that means is, as you're in a fitness program, you want to really, you're weight training too, so don't forget, you want to maintain or retain the muscle that you're trying to build or rebuild. So that's what that does. Let's put it to extreme levels here. Fat burning zone. Look at a bodybuilder, right? Mm-hmm. They're trying to preserve all the muscle. Well, I'm trying to preserve all the muscle. When I'm doing a photo shoot, when I'm doing a cover, I'm trying to look muscular as heck, right? Mm-hmm. So now in extreme zones, that's would be steady fat burning cardio. Now something like a marathon runner, a sprinter, they have a lot less muscle. So if you see that's an extreme zone of aerobic movement, which is very good for your heart, but they're burning muscle while they're doing that cardio. Yeah. You understand? So now, this is all based on your time constraint. Everyone has a job. Everyone has responsibilities. They're kids. They're this, they're that. So if you don't have that steady time that you could delegate at least 30, 45 minutes to an hour of steady fasted cardio, that's when you could do something like the HIIT cardio. Let's say you have 15 minutes. You can get your heart rate all the way up and back down. But what you want to do with the HIIT cardio is you still want to try to maintain, even when you're almost at a lower heart rate, you still want to be in that fat burning zone. So that's the key. So for instance, let's say you got 15 minutes. You're doing sprints on a treadmill. You get your heart rate all the way up to 180, okay? But then we do a slow, steady jog. You lower the treadmill, you do a slow, steady jog. Your heart rate still wants to stay at that 120, 130. So that's fat burning, but then you're getting a little bit more endurance as you're sprinting, as you're, things like that. Even if you're on a bike, it's the same concept. Mm-hmm. You got 15 minutes. All right, so I'm going to do 3 minutes of steady cardio, and then I'm going to do 30 seconds of hard. Then I'm going to bring my heart rate back down. So that is that's interval high intensity HIIT.
That's what HIIT is. Right. HIIT, high intensity interval training.
Correct.
Which means your intervals, you're going fast, slow, fast.
Right. But the goal is never to get your heart rate all the way down to resting.
Yeah.
You still want to get it at that fat burning zone. So that's the
why
theory.
You slow it down.
Correct.
You don't stop.
Correct.
It's the fast to slow, not fast to stop.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the difference there. That HIIT is good for someone that does not have that type of time. Mm-hmm. But
it does burn a lot of calories quick, though.
It does. It does burn a lot of calories quick. However, like we said, some of this stuff is subjective on the individual.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, that's the difference. And then, like I said, there's other types of cardio that is less invasive. Like, even when you hit the sauna, that's still actually a cardio workout. If you hit the sauna, because what does the heat do? The heat actually accelerates your heart rate because makes you sweat. It's the same kind of concept. Now, is that the best cardio? No, but you definitely add that into the program. It's great. It's good for cleansing. You sweat out toxins, things like that. But you're actually, burning calories. Your heart rate's going up
while you're sitting in there.
Correct.
Now, I'm going to throw a curveball at you because we didn't even talk about this, but it just came to me, and I wanted to ask you, and I was telling my son, I got to ask Anthony about that. I forgot. So if you're not familiar with it, we'll just pick it up another day because it's the new hot trend out there is this 30-30-30 cardio. Are you familiar with it at all?
30-30. All it is it's a different interval cardio. That's all that is.
You know I'm talking about. You wake up, you have 30 grams of protein. Within 30 minutes, you get to the gym and do 30 minutes of steady state cardio.
Let me tell you something about that.
And people say that it's supposed to be a big weight loss thing. Now, to me, I don't really get it. I haven't tried it, so I won't knock it.
I'm going to knock it.
Go ahead. Okay. You know about this more than me. Go ahead. That's why I wanted to ask you. Okay.
Here's the thing about that. So you want, instead of getting timing with protein, timing with protein really doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. You want to get your daily protein goal every day.
Yeah.
So you're following me with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's you can only digest a certain amount of protein. I don't care what anyone says. But when it comes to protein, as long as you're getting your daily protein goal and you hit that every day, that's what protein. So as far as 30 minutes of cardio, 30 minutes of protein, in my opinion, there's no science based on it. That's another fad of nonsense. Nonsense.
So, but what would be the strategy behind do 30 grams of protein? That's fine.
Mm-hmm,
you know, we all agree on that. 30 minutes of a cardio, fine. But why would that accelerate a fat burning status if you do it within 30 minutes of each other? That's the part I was like, where did this come from?
I don't think it would. As far as 30 grams of again. Here is the science of it. As long as you're hitting your protein, timing means nothing.
Yeah,
it means nothing. What does mean something is when your insulin or your glycogen levels deplete, and then you have to get those glycogen levels restored.
Yeah.
So when you eat carbs, that's when timing comes into play. Sugars and carbs and things like that. So as far as you got to have 30 minutes of protein this time, and it doesn't really matter.
That's what I was
to
thinking.
be quite honest with you.
I was thinking if it was a carb-based thing to start,
right.
You're burning the carbs, using them as energy. I don't know.
First off,
it's all over the the social media.
So is the carnivore diet.
The Mediterranean diet. The what's the other one? Everybody. The Atkins type of diet.
I don't poo-poo any diet or anything because it really is based on the individual. If it works for you, by any means do it.
Yeah,
however, you have to base everything on human anatomy and the science of how the body burns calories. You know what I'm saying? Again, generally speaking, it is calories in, calories out. However, there's clean calories, there's good calories, there's bad calories, and that's when your energy systems come into play. So your good calories create more ATP, and not to get technical, but that's how that works. So in my professional opinion, the 30 grams of protein and then you're doing cardio, protein timing means nothing. Carb timing and hydration timing means everything.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting your protein daily intake goal.
To me, it almost seems like this is almost a way for somebody in a shorter window to make sure they get their protein and they get their cardio in.
I guess.
Right?
I guess.
And 30 minutes of cardio is a good number.
It depends.
It depends, but it's a steady state cardio.
Yeah.
So
If
you're going to do 30 minutes of HIIT cardio, that's, you got to really be athletic to do that and get a good.
First of all, you don't even break a sweat, people eat. It really depends on the individual. Again, this is all subjective. That's what people don't really understand. There's no standard of what you people should be doing.
Yeah.
But again, there's science, Joey. There's science of nutrition, food timing, right?
Yeah.
But once again, and I've learned this, you should have a protein shake immediately after. Yeah, protein's great because you want to get your protein daily in, right? But why do they say have a protein shake right after? Because what's usually you really want in the protein shake? Carbs.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates to replenish your glycogen levels and all that stuff. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. So if someone's technically having protein with water, let's say they're having 2 scoops of whey protein with water, great. Good, I'm glad you got it in, but does it really mean anything that you got it right in? No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's, but again, here's how fitness works, folks. Fitness is one of the most trendy things, careers, industries on this planet. It always has. But here's the best part about fitness. It's trendy, right? But guess what happens? All these trends recycle. They recycle these trends and call them something different every, 10 years.
Yeah.
It amazes me when it comes to this. They just repackage it and recycle it. Okay, now this is called the Mediterranean diet. Now this is called not HIIT cardio. This is advanced HIIT cardio. You know what I mean?
Intermittent fasting, and obviously the science behind that is great, but it's hard to maintain over a long period of time.
Right, intermittent, and I tell you how. And I don't even say the word properly, but like something like that. Guess what happens? I want to tell people this. You fall asleep. Let's say 10 o'clock, right? You don't wake up until 7, right? What are you doing when you're in bed asleep from 10 to 7? Are you eating?
No.
So what are you doing?
You're burning calories.
You're fasting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Trevor, is the ghost
Trevor,
of,
get over here. Let me tell you.
Is the ghost of fitness past feeding you in the middle of the night?
No, I was trying to. I was trying to think too far out of the box instead of the obvious on that.
Well, Anthony, you're molecularly burning calories. No, you're not eating unless someone's shoving food in your mouth.
That's the whole thing with the intermittent
Right.
is.
However,
you have an 8-hour window to eat. You have an 8-hour window to fast, an 8-hour window to sleep. So you really have a 16-hour fasting window.
Right. But this is true. There's a science behind it. Fasting is absolutely, and what also fasting does, and I do agree with this though, it does reset your metabolism if you do it correct. Now, I don't know about a 72-hour fast or all those other trends, you know what I'm saying? But it does reset your metabolism at times. There's no question about it. Science-based, you know what I mean? But again, people don't understand, I'm doing intermittent fasting, and, really? Oh, okay. How many hours of sleep again? 10. Okay. So are you waking up in the middle of the night and getting a protein shake down? You know what I mean? Yeah. Remember, we used to do that because when we were trying to put on weight, do you remember the casein protein? Yeah. That was the basis of that. So you think about that.
It lasts longer, it's slower.
I used to set an alarm at 2 a.m. to get my protein shake in, so get my casein protein would be slow digesting in me. You know what I mean? So there's, again, all these fitness trends have recycled, and just like, like all the body fat scans, okay? There's an in-body scan that ProFit has, but people don't realize, okay, that was something they invented 15 years ago, that they just repackaged it. Yeah. And now it's called an in-body scan. You can do this and that. We've had that in the gyms forever. You understand? Yeah. And those are subjective because they could be manipulated. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and that's why I always say, why do you think the Lang caliper has been around for that long and it's $500? Why? Because if you do that correctly, there's nothing more accurate, and I will bet my bottom dollar on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But listen, you always get me into these rants. We were supposed to be talking about cardio.
We did. We've been talking about. So basically, cardio to you, there's different types, different forms of cardio. The main thing is what works for you. If HIIT is something that you're not ready to do yet, if it's something
HIIT is great for someone that has time constraints or that's limited time. You know what I mean? For certain things, it burns calories. It does. There's no question. Yeah. But again, I always say, don't rely too much on that calorie counter either. Yeah. How about you just be consistent and you have a routine? What did I always tell you, Joe? What does your body respond to the best? Routine. Yeah. It knows, okay, it's time for you to wake up and do cardio. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We got to train. Okay, it's time to eat now, Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Your body responds to routine like a robot, like a trained Pavlov dog. It responds to routine. And that's the biggest thing.
And if it's not responding, then that's something that's telling you to alter that routine somewhat. Maybe you need to, like, to me, I don't like going to the gym I like to go on an empty stomach. Mm-hmm. If I go to the gym after I even eat, I used to try to eat like something light, oatmeal kind of thing, whatever. Yeah. I still felt sluggish for some reason. I shouldn't have. It's carbs. It should have helped me. But my, like you said, it's all individual. My routine is wake up, go to the gym in the morning, come home, and I do have the protein shake after the gym.
What's in the shake though?
Whey protein.
And with what?
Milk.
Okay, what does milk have in it?
Dairy. Well, I have non-dairy, but
what does milk have in it?
Protein.
What else?
Carbs.
Right. Yeah. What is milk created for? Babies. It's a complete meal.
Yeah.
So there's carbs in it.
But I have it, and it's not like, I got to rush home and have it. I have it just to make sure I have it, because I haven't eaten anything all day. Now I'm going to shower and do stuff. I may not eat for another 2 hours after that.
But why don't you
want to get something in?
Why don't you do? You should eat something before your weight training. You do need an energy source. Why don't you just eat a banana? That's what I tell everyone to do.
I actually eat a banana afterwards too.
Why don't you? Well, you might be having too much sugar then. But listen, this is individual. Weight training, you really should unless, here's the only time you shouldn't eat before weight training. If you're weight training at 5 a.m. and you ate your last meal maybe 9-ish. Actually, that meal is still in your bloodstream, so technically you can get away with that. But weight training, you should have some kind of fast digesting carbs or something like that.
So a banana
is the ideal because it has magnesium.
You know what? Now that you told me
fiber,
that,
yeah.
Because you're the expert.
Right.
This is why.
Let's not forget this, Trevor. Who's the expert here? That's right.
Tumanella's the expert. I like to have a banana afterwards because I feel I'm hungry after I work out.
So if you're that hungry after you work out, what might you be doing wrong, sir?
I should eat something when I get home. But I like to get in the shower, get my day going.
I know, because you go in the shower, you come out, you get the 1970s blow dryer, right? You put on
it doesn't take that long.
You put on Night Fever, and you're in the mirror. This is where I wish we had music. We should be starting to play Night Fever right now.
45 seconds, my hair will be dry with the blow dryer. No, but definitely that's why I do have the shake because I feel, and then I have something to eat after I get out of the shower. Usually like a almond milk yogurt with some granola and raisins and things like that, something healthy and stuff like that. But that's my routine.
Right.
But I'm going to start tomorrow morning. That banana is going to be on the way in, not the way out.
I bet you this, and we can discuss this next week. I bet you get a better workout.
We will talk about it. We will.
I bet you.
The banana test shall start tomorrow, Tuesday.
You don't need to eat a lot. And the best part about eating something like a banana, it's very quick digesting and absorbing.
And you can eat it while you're driving.
Boom.
You don't need a knife and fork.
That's
there you
it.
go. That's going to do it for us this week. For Anthony and Trevor, I'm Joe. MuscleSportMag.com. Subscribe. $35 a year free shipping in the U.S. We will see you guys in a week.
Take care.
Noah, I have a job for you.
Jeez, it's not another arc, is it?
No, not again. This time I need a full-scale home renovation.
Noah Construction and Builders is your design and build partner. We do it all, from additions and dormers to full-scale renovations. Schedule your no-cost design consultation today. Visit us online at noahconstruction-builders.com.
Noah Construction and Builders, through dreams we design, with vision we build.